radiation and matter, and today we'll move to the details of photoelectric effect with certain experiments. Okay, so our topic is photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect was actually discovered in 1887 by Heinrich Hertz. You may have heard this name, Hertz. So Heinrich Hertz was a scientist who discovered the phenomenon of photoelectric effect, and it was actually a by chance discovery because he was doing experiments with electromagnetic waves like UV and all, and while doing that experiment he observed some high voltage sparks across the detector loop were increased or were enhanced when the plate or the emitter plate was illuminated by UV light. That means while doing his experiment he had some plates like this, okay, just connected like this, and this plate he called as the emitter plate. So sparks were actually coming from these plates, and when he allowed UV light to fall on this emitter plate, he could see that the sparks, the production of sparks were enhanced, means increased. Understand? And he used a detector loop here to detect the presence of sparks produced. So this is a detector loop. Clear? So this was a metal plate, and he allowed the UV light or radiations to fall on this surface, and suddenly the sparks, already sparks were there, but the sparks were enhanced, the production of sparks were enhanced. Understand? This was actually the starting of introduction or discovery of photoelectric effect. After that, in 1886-1902 period, Halbach and Lenard, two scientists were there, Halbach and Lenard, made a detailed study of photoelectric effect. Okay, and Lenard observed that if a potential difference is applied across the two metal plates enclosed in an evacuated tube, then there is no flow of current in the circuit. Okay, that means this is the evacuated tube containing two metal plates like this. Two metal plates are there, and it is connected across a potential difference also, but there was no flow of current in that circuit. And he called this plate as cathode since it is connected to negative terminal, and this plate as the anode. Also, this plate is called the emitter plate, and this is called the collector plate. Okay. Now, on this emitter plate, he allowed UV radiations to fall on it. Okay, this emitter plate is exposed to UV radiations, and suddenly he could observe that there is a current flow in the circuit. Current starts to flow in the circuit. Understand? So as soon as the UV radiations falling on the emitter plate are stopped, the current flowing also stopped. So he could identify that light falling on the surface of emitter causes the current in the external circuit. Understand? And from his observation, Halbach concluded that negatively charged particles were ejected out from the plate under the action of UV radiations, because you know this is cathode, this is connected to negative terminal. That means when light falls on this plate, electrons, negatively charged electrons started to move, isn't it, towards the positive plate. And if there is a movement of negatively charged particles or charged particles, surely there will be current in the circuit, isn't it? So, after the discovery of electron, it became evident that the exposure of emitter plate with the incident light causes the electrons to emit also. And due to the negative charge, the emitted electrons are pushed towards the collector plate by the applied electric field. Understand? You are applying an external field here so that the electrons are produced from this plate which were collected or which were pushed towards the collector plate with the help of applied electric field. Understand? So, this was the observation made by Hallward and Lenard, and this is also, again, it is evident that when light falls on the metal surface, electrons are ejected or charged particles are ejected out from the metal surface, and that charged particles in this particular experiment, it is evident that negatively charged particles are actually responsible for the current in the external circuit. Understand? So this is the experimental study or experiment or the observations made by Hallward and Lenard, and finally we will look into the detailed experimental study of photoelectric effect, which is very important also. So let us move to that. So now we are moving to the experimental study of photoelectric effect, and first we will discuss the setup used for doing the experiment. Okay, so this is the figure for that setup. You can see an evacuated glass tube. You can see here an evacuated glass tube or quartz tube, okay, which encloses a photosensitive plate here, C, which we call it as the emitter plate. This plate we call it as the emitter plate, and a metal plate called A, which we call it as the collector plate. Or in other words, this C is C is called the cathode and A is called the anode. Understand? Now here you can see a transparent quartz window is sealed there onto the glass tube, and it permits the UV radiations to pass through it and irradiate the photosensitive plate. So here we are using photosensitive plate so that when light falls on the plate, it will be able to emit the electrons. And here, as you know, the quartz window allows the radiation to pass through it, and the radiation will fall onto the photosensitive plate here. So this plate starts to emit the electrons. Electrons emitted by the plate C are collected by the plate A. Understand? So here you can see a reversing key is there, reversing key, or it can be called as a commutator set up to reverse the. So here a reversing key or commutator is used in order to reverse the terminals. That means according to our wish, you can connect this collector plate as connected to positive, or at times you can connect it to negative. You can reverse the potential. Understand? That is why it is connected to a reversing key here. So first of all, when the collector plate A is positive with respect to the emitter plate C, you can see that the cathode or the emitter plate will emit electrons, and these electrons are collected by the plate A. So since there is a movement of electrons or there is a movement of the negatively charged particles, electric current is produced. Okay, and that current you can call it as the photoelectric current. Photoelectric current. This emission of electrons causes the flow of electric current in the circuit. Understand? Now, the potential difference between the emitter and collector can be measured with the help of a voltmeter, whereas the resulting photocurrent can be measured with the help of a microammeter. We are using microammeter because very small range of current is produced there. Microammeter is there to measure the current. The experimental arrangement given above or the shown here is used to study the variations of photoelectric current with intensity of radiation, frequency of radiation and potential difference between the plates A and C. Understand? So here simple only. First understand the setup used here. You can see an evacuated glass tube which consists of two plates, in which this plate is photosensitive and it is actually an evacuated glass tube made up of, or you can use a quartz tube. Now here there is a quartz window through which the UV radiation is allowed to fall on the photosensitive plate. While the light falls on the photosensitive plate, it starts to emit electrons, and these electrons are collected by the collector. First, the collector was connected to a positive terminal of the battery, and cathode or the emitter is connected to negative terminal. And you can change the potential of this collector. You can increase the potential, you can decrease the potential, but with the help of a reversing key, also known as the commutator. Understand? Commutator means what? The purpose of commutator is to reverse the direction of current. That is, you can increase or decrease the potential of collector plate. That is why we are using a reversing key. Clear? So at first, when the collector is connected to the positive terminal, the electrons move to collector, which constitute a current, and that can be measured with the help of a microammeter here. And then there is an voltmeter placed here which is used to measure the potential difference between the collector and the emitter and the collector plates. Understand? Now what we are going to do is, you are going to have a study for the variation of photoelectric current with respect to the intensity of radiation. Intensity of radiation means what? As the amount of light that you are allowing to fall on the metal plate, you can increase it or you can decrease it. If you are increasing it, the intensity will increase, and if the intensity is increased, what will happen to the photoelectric current that you are going to study here? Then second case is, you are changing the frequency of radiation. You are changing the frequency of radiation, and then you are going to have a study of the photoelectric current with variation in frequency. Third one is by changing the potential difference between the plates, by increasing or by decreasing the potential difference between the collector and emitter plates, what will happen to the photoelectric current? So three factors here you are using, and you are going to have a study on that. So let us look each thing into its details. Again I am saying each one is very important, especially there are certain graphs inside this intensity, then potential, then frequency, etc. So be clear with the concept. So let us start it. So as I told, we are going to have a study of the variation of photoelectric current with respect to intensity of the light. Then second is the frequency of the light or frequency of radiation, and third is the potential difference between the plates. Understand? That is, ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ഫോട്ടോ ഇലക്ട്രിക് കറണ്ടിൽ വരുന്ന വേരിയേഷൻസ് നോക്കുകയാണ് വിത്ത് റെസ്പെക്ട് ടു എന്തൊക്കെയാണ്? ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി, നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ലൈറ്റ് ത്രൂ ദ വിൻഡോ ദ എമൗണ്ട് ഓഫ് ലൈറ്റ് കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്, ആ ലൈറ്റിനെ നമ്മൾ ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു, ഡിക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. ആസ് എ റിസൾട്ട് കറണ്ടിന് എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കുന്നു? ആൻഡ് സെക്കൻഡ് ഇസ് ബൈ ചേഞ്ചിങ് ദ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി മാറ്റി കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്താണ് സംഭവിക്കുന്നത്? കറണ്ടിന് എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കുന്നു? തേർഡായിട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന എന്താണ്? അതിൻ്റെ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ ഡിഫറൻസ്, ആ പ്ലേറ്റ്സ് തമ്മിലുള്ള പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ ഡിഫറൻസിനെ ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു, ഡിക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുന്നു. കാരണം നമുക്ക് റിവേഴ്സ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള കീ, റിവേഴ്സിങ് കീ ഓർ കമ്മ്യൂട്ടേറ്റർ ഇസ് ദെയർ. സോ അതിനെന്താ സംഭവിക്കുന്നത്? ഈ മൂന്ന് സ്റ്റഡിയാണ് നമ്മളിവിടെ നടത്തുന്നത്, മൂന്ന് ഫാക്ടേഴ്സിൻ്റെ സ്റ്റഡി. ആൻഡ് വെൻ വി ടേക്ക് ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റിയെക്കുറിച്ച് പഠിക്കുന്ന ടൈമിൽ വി വിൽ മേക്ക് ദിസ് ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ആസ് വെൽ ആസ് ദ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ ഡിഫറൻസ് കോൺസ്റ്റൻറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, ഏതാണോ സ്റ്റഡി നടത്തുന്നത് ആ ഫാക്ടർ എടുക്കുക, മറ്റത് രണ്ടും എന്ത് ചെയ്യുക? കോൺസ്റ്റൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് വയ്ക്കുക. ഓക്കെ. സോ ഫസ്റ്റ് വി ആർ ടേക്കിംഗ് ദ ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി ഹിയർ, ആൻഡ് വൈൽ ടേക്കിംഗ് ദ ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി for study, we will fix the frequency as well as the potential. And when this frequency and potential are fixed and made a study with the intensity, that is intensity is increased. How can you change the intensity? As by increasing the amount of light passing through the quartz window. Isn't it? ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി കൂട്ടിക്കൊടുക്കുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്താണ്? നമ്മൾ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ലൈറ്റിൻ്റെ എമൗണ്ട് അത് കൂട്ടിക്കൊടുക്കുക. അപ്പോൾ നോർമലി ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി വിൽ ഇൻക്രീസ്. ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി കൂടുമ്പോൾ ആക്ച്വലി വാട്ട് ഈസ് ഹാപ്പനിങ് ഇസ്, എന്താ കണ്ടത്, ദിസ് ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ്, ദ ഫോട്ടോ ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് ദാറ്റ് ആർ ഇജക്റ്റഡ് ഔട്ട് ഫ്രം ദ surface, metal surface, or the photoelectrons emitted is increasing. So when the intensity is increased, intensity of radiation is increased, the amount of electrons produced from the metal plate also increases. Okay, so how can you conclude the intensity is directly proportional to what is the number of photoelectrons emitted? Intensity of radiation is directly proportional to the number of photoelectrons emitted. Okay, so whenever you are increasing the intensity ഇതിലൂടെ കൊടുക്കുന്ന ലൈറ്റിൻ്റെ ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി നിങ്ങൾ കൂട്ടി കൊടുക്കുന്ന അനുസരിച്ച് എന്ത് സംഭവിക്കുകയാണ്, ദ എമൗണ്ട് ഓഫ് കറണ്ട് പ്രൊഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് ഇസ് ഇൻക്രീസ്ഡ്. amount of current produced increase means അതിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്താ, is from here the number of electrons emitted increases. So how can you conclude intensity is directly proportional to what, the photoelectric current, or intensity directly proportional to the number of photoelectrons emitted from the metal surface. So if you are asked to draw a graph between intensity and the current, how will you draw? Because it is directly proportional, so you can draw a straight line, isn't it? So the graph between intensity as well as the photoelectric current will be like this, will be a straight line taking intensity along the x-axis and photoelectric current along the y-axis. Understand? So this is the first graph. Okay, so while studying the variation of current with respect to intensity, you are making the frequency as well as the potential between the plates as constant value. Okay, you cannot change that. Then you are taking the intensity and photoelectric current, and when you change the intensity means when you are increasing the amount of light, what will happen, you can see that the current produced, it can be denoted with the help of a microammeter, and in that microammeter the reading is showing more, which means that more current is produced. And what does it mean? If more current is produced, the number of photoelectrons emitted also increases. Clear? So the graph is a straight line between photoelectric current as well as intensity. Okay, so the second one is effect of potential. Potential you can change because it is connected to with the help of a reversing key. Now let us look what is the function of reversing key here, and how can you change the potential, and when you are changing the potential what will happen to the photoelectric effect, etc. Okay, so now we are checking the effect of potential on photoelectric current. Okay, potential മാറ്റി കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. ആ സമയത്ത് ആരെയൊക്കെ കോൺസ്റ്റൻ്റ് ആയിട്ട് വയ്ക്കും? as I told, ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി കോൺസ്റ്റൻ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ ഫ്രീക്വൻസിയും കോൺസ്റ്റൻ്റ് ആയിരിക്കും. ഓക്കെ, ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ എമൗണ്ട് ഓഫ് ലൈറ്റ് മാത്രമേ അതിലൂടെ പോകത്തുള്ളൂ. ആ ടൈമിൽ എന്താണ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലിൽ വരുന്ന, പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ മാറ്റി കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ കറണ്ടിൽ വരുന്ന ചേഞ്ച്, ദാറ്റ്സ് വാട്ട് വി ആർ ഗോയിങ് ടു ഡിസ്കസ്. So first the frequency was fixed, then the intensity was fixed. Okay, and it is seen that the photoelectric current increases with increase in potential, because you know this collector is connected to a positive potential first, isn't it? So as it is connected to a positive potential means the potential is increased right now. So when the potential is increased, what will happen? It is seen that the current also getting increased, and you can call it as the accelerating potential. Okay, you can change the potential, you can increase the potential with the help of this commutator. You can reverse it, also you can increase it. So while you are increasing, it is seen that what, this particular current, amount of current shown in the ammeter also increases, which means that the photoelectric current is increasing with respect to the increase in potential, and you can call it as the accelerating potential. Okay, now after a certain value of accelerating potential, that means when all the photoelectrons, that means first it was negative and this is positive, and this positive is again increased and increased. So the electrons which are emitted from the cathode are moving towards the anode, isn't it? And after, when all the photoelectrons reach the plate A, what will happen? The photo current stops. Am I right? When all the electrons reach the plate A, there is no movement of electrons, isn't it? So what will happen? The photoelectric current stops. And again if you are increasing the value of the accelerating potential, the maximum value of the photoelectric current at that time is called saturation current. Understand? So first you were increasing the potential, the current was increased, you are again increasing and increasing. At that time the maximum number of electrons that moving from cathode to anode suddenly stops. So what will happen? If there is no movement of electrons, no current will be there. Photocurrent stops, isn't it? And again if you are increasing the potential, means the current has reached its extreme, its maximum value, which we call it as the saturation current. Clear? This much clear. Now again the potential is decreased. With the help of this commutator, the potential is decreased. But it is seen that the current is getting decreasing, but it does not become zero at zero potential. You are decreasing the potential again, and finally it is coming to zero. Suppose, okay, it is coming to zero. But it is seen that the current is not coming to zero. There is a little more current in it. So what does it indicate? So even in the absence of the potential, even in the absence of the accelerating potential, there are certain photoelectrons which manage, however they manage to reach the plate A. How? With their own kinetic energy. Isn't it? They are trying to reach the plate A. Even though we are reducing the potential, if there is a small amount of current showing in the microammeter, it indicates that what? As however the electrons are trying to reach the plate A only with the help of their kinetic energy. Okay. First നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ കൂട്ടിക്കൊടുക്കുകയാണ് ചെയ്തത്. പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ കൂട്ടിക്കൊടുത്തപ്പോൾ ഇതിനകത്തുള്ള കറണ്ടും എന്ത് ചെയ്യാണ്? കൂടി വരിക. ഓക്കെ. ദ ഫോട്ടോ കറണ്ട് ഓൾസോ ഇൻക്രീസസ്. ആൻഡ് ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ വാല്യൂ കഴിയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മളിത് കൂട്ടിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാലും എന്ത് പറ്റും? The current will reach its maximum value, and that current we call it as the saturation current. Clear? Saturation being its extreme, isn't it? Then finally potential കുറയ്ക്കുക, കൂട്ടിയ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലിനെ കുറച്ച് കൊണ്ടുവരാണ്. ആൻഡ് ഫൈനലി ദ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ റീച്ചസ് സീറോ ആയപ്പോഴും ഈ മൈക്രോ അമ്മീറ്ററിനകത്ത് കുറച്ച് കറണ്ട് കാണിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതിൻ്റെ മീനിങ് എന്താ? if there is small amount of current, ഇവിടെ എന്തോ വീണ്ടും ഇലക്ട്രോൺസിൻ്റെ മൂവ്മെൻറ്റ് ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ടാണ് അത് കാണുന്നത് അല്ലേ? ആൻഡ് ഹൗ ദിസ് ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് ആർ മൂവിങ്? വിത്ത് ദെയർ കൈനറ്റിക് എനർജി. ദേ ആർ ട്രൈയിങ് ടു റീച്ച് ദ plate A because of their kinetic energy. Understand? So that is the second point. Now, for a particular frequency of incident radiation, when minimum negative potential V0 is applied to the plate A with respect to C, that is again ഇതിൻ്റെ വാല്യൂ കുറച്ച് നെഗറ്റീവ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലിലേക്ക് പോവുകയാണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കുക. ഓക്കെ. നെഗറ്റീവ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലിലേക്ക് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ വാല്യൂ ഓഫ് ഫ്രീക്വൻസിയിൽ the photoelectric current becomes zero. Understand? ഏത് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലിലാണോ, ഏത് വാല്യൂ ഓഫ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലിലാണോ കറണ്ട് സീറോ ആവുന്നത്, that potential is known as stopping potential. Understand? Very important. Stopping potential or cut off potential. Okay? അതായത് ആദ്യം കറണ്ട് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ കൂട്ടിക്കൊടുത്തു. സോ കറണ്ട് ഇൻക്രീസ്ഡ്. എഗെയിൻ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ കുറയ്ക്കുമ്പോഴും കറണ്ട് സീറോ ആവുന്നില്ല. പക്ഷേ എപ്പോഴോ ഒരു പോയിന്റിൽ, ഏതോ ഒരു പെർട്ടിക്കുലർ പോയിന്റിൽ നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്തു? ഇതിൻ്റെ വാല്യൂ സീറോ ആയി. ഓക്കെ. ഏത് വാല്യൂ ആ സീറോ ആയത്? കറണ്ടിൻ്റെ വാല്യൂ സീറോ ആയി. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഏതോ ഒരു പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എത്തിയപ്പോൾ, കുറച്ച് നെഗറ്റീവ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എവിടെയോ എത്തിയപ്പോൾ എന്ത് പറ്റി? ദ കറണ്ട് ഓൾസോ ടേൺ ടു സീറോ. So that potential at which the current becomes zero is said to be the cut-off potential or stopping potential. Understand? So here we have studied two terms there, and the first one is saturation current, second one is cut-off potential or stopping potential. 1 mark question, stopping potential, asking question only. So once again I will tell it in detail. Listen carefully. So first, the potential was increased. At that time it is seen that the current also increases. Which current? Photoelectric current also increases. Clear? Then after a certain value of accelerating potential, when all the photoelectrons reach the plate A, the photocurrent stops. Okay. And if you are increasing, further if you are increasing the accelerating potential, you can see that the current reaches its maximum value of photoelectric current, and it is said to be the saturation current. Saturation current. Clear? And now you can reverse, isn't it? You can reverse the change the direction so that you can change the potential in collector plate. So the plate is decreased, the potential is decreased. When the potential is decreased, what will happen? The current is decreasing, but it is not equal to 0. Clear? At 0 potential. Decreasing means you can decrease up to 0, right? Again, if you're decreasing means it will go to negative potential. So even though it reaches 0 value, the potential is not 0, which means that in the absence of accelerating potential, some photoelectrons manage to reach to the plate, the collector plate, with their own kinetic energy, isn't it? With the help of kinetic energy, the electrons are moving. That is why the current is not equal to 0. Now it is seen that at a certain potential known as the stopping potential, or you can also call it as the cut-off potential, stopping potential or cut-off potential, the current becomes 0. And the potential at which the photoelectric current becomes 0 is known as the stopping potential or cut-off potential. Understand? So you can say that, very important, the stopping potential is sufficient to repel even the most energetic photoelectron with maximum kinetic energy, isn't it? If the stopping potential is enough to make the current to 0, it means that this stopping potential is sufficient to repel even the most energetic photoelectron with maximum kinetic energy, isn't it? So photoelectric current becomes 0 whenever no electron, even the fastest photoelectrons, cannot reach the plate A. So here what is the condition? At stopping potential, you can take it as EV0. Okay, EV0, where V0 is the stopping potential. This is energy, right? EV0 is the energy. At this EV0, when this EV0 becomes equal to kinetic energy, when this energy EV0 is equal to kinetic energy max, this is the condition for what? Stopping potential. Here you can see that at this stopping potential, it is sufficient to repel even the most energetic photoelectron with maximum kinetic energy. Am I right? So photoelectric current will become 0 whenever no electron, even the fastest photoelectrons, cannot reach the plate A. നമ്മൾ സെക്കൻഡ് പോയിന്റിൽ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു, കൈനറ്റിക് എനർജി ഉള്ളത് കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് വീണ്ടും അങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക് മൂവ് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. പക്ഷേ ഏതോ ഒരു പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ, അതായത് സ്റ്റോപ്പിംഗ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ എത്തിയപ്പോൾ ഈ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രോൺസ് മൂവ്മെൻ്റ് അവിടെ ഇല്ല. അതായത് ഈ സ്റ്റോപ്പിംഗ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലിന് അത്രയും ഫാസ്റ്റായിട്ട് വരുന്ന ആ ഒരു ഇലക്ട്രോണിനെ റിപ്പൽ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള കഴിവുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ട് അത് അങ്ങോട്ടേക്ക് റീച്ച് ആവാത്തത്, അല്ലേ? കളക്ടർ പ്ലേറ്റിലേക്ക് റീച്ച് ആയാൽ മാത്രമേ ഫോട്ടോ ഇലക്ട്രിക് കറണ്ട് ഉണ്ടാവുള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ അത് റീച്ച് ആവുന്നില്ല. സോ ദിസ് കൈനറ്റിക് എനർജി മാക്സ് ഇസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു വാട്ട്? EV0. EV0 is actually expression for energy and V0 is the stopping potential. Clear? So EV0 is equal to kinetic energy max. ഇതാണ് സ്റ്റോപ്പിംഗ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ കണ്ടീഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, കണ്ടീഷൻ ഫോർ സ്റ്റോപ്പിംഗ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ. സോ വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. EV0 equal to kinetic energy max. Clear? So you can write the expression like this: kinetic energy max is equal to EV0, which is equal to half mv square. You can write it as the V max. This V is what? Velocity. അതായത് ഫാസ്റ്റായിട്ട് വരുന്ന ഫോട്ടോ ഇലക്ട്രോണിനെയും റിപ്പൽ ചെയ്ത് നിർത്താൻ മാത്രം കഴിവുണ്ട് ഈ സ്റ്റോപ്പിംഗ് പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലിന്. അപ്പോൾ അവിടുത്തെ കൈനറ്റിക് എനർജി is actually converting like this, right? So kinetic energy is equal to what? EV0. Only when this condition comes, the current turn to 0. Understand? So this is all about the effective potential on photoelectric current. Clear? Okay, let us move to the third condition, where you are fixing this potential and intensity as constant, and you are changing what? Now you have studied intensity as well as potential. Now you are changing the frequency. Understand? You are changing the frequency and then you are studying the photoelectric current. So you have to study is there if there is any variation in photoelectric current with respect to frequency by keeping this intensity and the potential between the plates as constant. ഓക്കെ, തേർഡ് കേസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി എന്ത് ചെയ്യുകയാണ്, ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ഇതിനകത്ത് വരുന്ന ഫോട്ടോ ഇലക്ട്രിക് കറണ്ടിൻ്റെ വേരിയേഷൻ പഠിക്കുകയാണ്. ആ സമയത്ത് നമ്മൾ ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്ത് വയ്ക്കുന്നത് ആരെയൊക്കെ ആയിരിക്കും, ഇൻറ്റൻസിറ്റി, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ സെക്കൻഡായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞ പൊട്ടൻഷ്യൽ. ഓക്കെ, സോ ലെറ്റ് us move to that. So before moving to the third condition, we have to discuss one graph also. This graph shows the variation of photoelectric current and potential. Understand? Photoelectric current പൊട്ടൻഷ്യലുമായിട്ടുള്ള ഗ്രാഫാണ് വരച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. And you know that this collector plate potential can be increased as well as decreased. Clear? So this is increase in potential. The collector plate potential is increased, then now it is reduced, and finally when it reaches here, this point is known as the stopping potential. Okay, so here we have taken three intensities, different intensities we have considered. That is intensity I1, I2, I3, and it is seen that this I3 is greater than I2, greater than I1. So what can you conclude from this? You can see that this is the maximum level of current, right? I1, I2, I3 shows that this is a saturation level of current, and this will get decreased, decreased and decreased current, isn't it? Finally it reaches to 0 when the potential reaches V0. Okay, and from this you can conclude, from this graph it is clear that for the radiation of a given frequency, for a given frequency and a given material, here the value of stopping potential V0 is independent of the intensity. That means if you are changing the intensity, if you are increasing the intensity by entering the amount of light that you are allowing to pass through the glass window, if you are increasing or changing or decreasing, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, or it doesn't depend upon the stopping potential. Stopping potential is independent of the intensity, whether you increase or decrease, but it is same for all the intensities. Understand? Then that also means that the maximum kinetic energy of the emitted photoelectron depends only on the light source. Understand? And the emitter plate material. It is not depending on the intensity. I told that this stopping potential is equal to what? Stopping potential is actually equal to kinetic energy. Only at that condition the current is 0. Whether it is of different intensities, it doesn't matter. So if you are changing the intensities and if you are checking, you can see that the stopping potential is not depending upon the intensity. It is actually depending upon what? The emitted, it depends upon the light source. The light source that we are using, and also the emitter plate material, which is the photosensitive material. It only depends upon these two. It doesn't depend upon the intensity. So from this graph it is clear that you can change the intensity, but the stopping potential will remain the same. It doesn't depend upon the intensity. Understand? This graph is also very important. This shows the variation of photoelectric current with the potential for different intensities and constant frequency. Okay, very important. Different intensities and constant frequency, it is shown in the graph. Okay.